Ever wondered how cats apologize to humans? Most people assume they simply don't. But the truth is, they do, just in ways that look nothing like what you'd expect. And that's the problem. Because if you miss those moments, or worse, punish them for it, you could be shutting down the only way your cat knows how to make things right. Let's start with the signal hiding in plain sight. 1. They stare at you and blink slowly. Have you ever caught your cat looking at you after doing something wrong, and then gently closing their eyes? Most people know slow blinking signals trust. But what almost no one talks about is what's happening inside your cat's brain in the moments before that blink. When your cat senses tension, maybe you raised your voice, maybe your body language changed, their stress response kicks in. Every instinct tells them to run or freeze. But instead of running, they choose to stay, hold your gaze, and deliberately shut their eyes. Think about what that actually means. A predator is willingly going blind in front of something that feels like a threat. That's not casual. That's a conscious emotional risk. Research from the University of Sussex confirmed that cats use slow blinking as an intentional social signal. What's even more striking is that cats who received slow blinks back showed noticeably lower stress hormone levels. Your response literally changes their body chemistry. When you blink back, their anxiety eases. When you stay frustrated and ignore it, their brain registers it as a failed attempt at reconnecting. And here's the part worth sitting with. If your cat keeps offering slow blinks after conflict and never gets one in return, they eventually stop trying. They don't act out. They just go quiet. And that silence isn't peace. It's a cat who gave up on apologizing to you. Later, I'll cover one apology signal that looks almost human, and it's the one most owners accidentally punish their cat for. Stay with me. 2. They headbutt you out of nowhere. Have you ever been sitting on the couch, still a little frustrated with your cat, and suddenly they walk over and press their head firmly against your face or hand? Most people laugh it off or assume their cat just wants attention. But what if that headbutt is actually your cat trying to repair what just broke between you? Cats have scent glands concentrated around their forehead, cheeks, and chin. When they press against you, they're leaving pheromones on your skin, a behavior called bunting. In calm, everyday moments, yes, it reads as affection. But when it happens right after conflict, the meaning shifts entirely. When tension fills a room, your cat can literally smell the difference. Stress hormones alter your scent. And to a creature that reads the world through smell the way we read it through facial expressions, that shift feels like the bond is fracturing. So what do? They walk up and remark you. They're not just being sweet, they're layering the tension with their own scent, restoring the chemical signature that tells their nervous system, this person is still mine, and I'm still theirs. What makes this even more meaningful is the timing. Cats can bunt casually, even with strangers. But when your cat specifically headbutts you after a tense moment, after you've scolded them or raised your voice, that's not random affection. That's intentional. They're telling you, in the most primal language they have, that they refuse to let the bond dissolve. 3. They drop their favorite toy at your feet. Have you ever been upset with your cat and then found a toy sitting right beside you? On the couch, near your feet, or even placed on your lap? Most owners toss it aside, assuming their cat wants to play. But what if your cat just handed you the most valuable thing they own, and you threw it away? Cats don't bring things to people the way dogs do. When a cat delivers an object to you, there's always a reason behind it. Animal behaviorists have noted that when a cat places an object near their owner after a period of tension, it mirrors what's called a reconciliation offering in social animal dynamics. They're not asking for a game. They're offering something of value to restore the connection. Consider it from their perspective. Your cat has a favorite toy, the one they carry around, guard, and curl up next to. And in the middle of an emotional rift between you two, they pick it up, walk across the room, and set it at your feet. That is not random. That is sacrifice. They're giving you the one thing that brings them comfort, hoping it might bring you comfort too. So the next time you find a stray toy beside you after a rough moment, don't ignore it. Pick it up. Acknowledge your cat. That small gesture might be the most courageous apology they've ever made. 4. They start licking your hands or face. Have you ever noticed your cat grooming you right after a tense moment? They hop onto your lap and start licking your fingers, your chin, maybe even your nose? Most people chalk it up to a quirky cat habit. But there's a specific reason this behavior surfaces after conflict, and it runs deeper than most people realize. In cat colonies, mutual grooming, known as allogrooming, is one of the most significant social behaviors they have. But here's what most people don't know. Cats don't groom every cat in the group. Studies on feral colonies have shown it's highly selective. They only groom individuals they share a strong bond with. It's not about cleanliness. It's a tool for maintaining relationships and easing friction within the group. And here's a detail that makes it even more profound. When cats groom each other to resolve tension, it measurably lowers heart rate in both animals involved. Which means when your cat licks your hand after a conflict, their own body is calming down through the act of repairing the bond with you. It's not just emotional, it's physiological. Apologizing to you is literally how they regulate themselves. 5. They roll over and expose their belly. Have you ever scolded your cat and watched them immediately flop onto their back and show you their stomach? Most owners think their cat is being playful, or worse, that they simply don't care. But that exposed belly might be the most misunderstood apology in the entire cat world. A cat's belly protects their most vital organs. In the wild, no cat would willingly expose that area unless they felt completely safe, or unless they were deliberately making themselves vulnerable to diffuse a threat. When your cat rolls over right after tension, that's exactly what's happening. They're not being playful. They are surrendering. It's the feline equivalent of raising both hands and saying, "I'm not a threat. Please don't stay angry with me." Here's where it goes wrong. Most owners see the belly and instinctively reach down to rub it. And then, the cat swipes, scratches, or bites. The owner assumes the cat was being manipulative or aggressive. But the truth is, the cat was never asking to be touched. They were asking to be forgiven. Reaching for their belly in that moment violates the very vulnerability they just offered you. And to the cat, it feels like a betrayal of the trust they were trying to rebuild. What should you do instead? Stay calm. Lower your voice. Offer a slow blink. Let your cat know you received the message, without turning their apology into a reason to grab at their most guarded area. That small shift in how you respond can fundamentally change how safe your cat feels coming to you after conflict. 6. They follow you everywhere, silently. Have you ever noticed that after something tense happens, your cat just starts appearing wherever you go? Not meowing, not rubbing against you, not asking for food, just quietly settling in the same room, watching from a distance. Most people don't even register it. But this is the signal I mentioned earlier. The one that looks almost human. The one most owners miss entirely. Cats are naturally independent. When they want space, they disappear without a second thought. They have no difficulty walking away from any situation, any person, any room. So when a cat chooses to do the opposite, when they follow you from the kitchen to the bedroom to the bathroom without making a single sound, that is not clinginess. That is a deliberate choice to stay close to you during emotional discomfort. Behavioral researchers call this proximity maintenance. It's a strategy also observed in bonded primates after conflict. Rather than vocalizing or forcing physical contact, the individual simply closes the distance and waits. The message is, "I'm not going to push this. But I'm not leaving either. I'll be here until things feel right again." And if you think about it, we do the same thing after a disagreement with someone we love. Sometimes there are no words, no grand gestures. We just sit in the same room. We make a cup of tea. We exist nearby. Your cat is doing the exact same thing. And the fact that an animal who could easily walk away and be perfectly content alone is choosing to stay near you in silence, that should tell you everything about what you mean to them.